epic March train video.
This is Mr. and Mrs. Bianchi and their friend Mrs. McNamara in the green dress. Mr. and Mrs. Bianchi's house is very old. It was built in 1853 and the kitchen was added on in 1860. You notice the house is real close to the railroad tracks. Well, there's a story behind that. The story goes why the railroad is close to the house. In 1862, when the railroad wanted to build through on the property of the original owner said no and took the railroad to court. And the railroad won the court battle. But the owner of the railroad was vindictive. He was going to build the railroad further away from the house. But because he was brought to court, he built the railroad right next to the original owner's house. Now Mr. Bianchi, who actually likes trains, enjoys watching the trains from his house. Mrs. Bianchi, not so much. She doesn't care for the trains a whole lot. But what she does like is the original wood-burning cook stove in the kitchen. As you can see how they're dressed, they're a group in town called the Victorians. Although they drive modern cars, they have electricity, they like to dress in Victorian clothes and do as much as possible the old-fashioned Victorian way. A little bit about Mr. Bianchi. He's a carpenter. He owns a successful carpentry business in town. And he's rebuilding this house. He's restoring the house. They're very much into history, so he wants to preserve this house. He's been working on the inside, but as you can see, the outside needs some work. It's situated right next to the river. It's really a really nice spot if you can handle the trains. Pretty soon, Mrs. Bianchi is going to get a chicken coop. She's always wanted a chicken coop, and the city just recently decided to allow chickens. Mr. Bianchi is building a bathroom in the house and hooking up to city sewer and water, and he's probably going to get rid of that old outhouse and build the chicken coop there. They're going to keep the pump though. The pump provides very good water. The house is situated right across the street from the depot and has a nice view of the waterfall. I hope you enjoyed this little story. This is part of Mr. B's Storytime Challenge. Thank you for joining me.
Todd Hines epic March train video.